This building right here, my friend, is considered as one of the New Zealand wonders of the world since 2007. Okay, it's known as the castle, El Castillo. When the Spanish got here, they called this building as the castle, El Castillo. But actually, it was not a house. Nobody lived here. It was not a tomb. Nobody was buried here. Okay, the Mayans, they used this building to worship their gods. That's it. To worship Kukulkan. That's the name of this building. Later on, the archaeologists, they renamed this building as the Temple of Kukulkan. Kukulkan, that means the feather snake god. Kukul means feathers and kan is snake. Feather snake. Okay, Kukulkan. It's more than 1,000 years old. According to the archaeologists, it was found in around the year 850 to 900 after Christ. Okay, made out of limestone. We got a lot of limestone everywhere here. Yucatan Peninsula is a huge platform of limestone. Okay, so they got the natural resources, nearby this place to build your temples. By the way, it was not a city. It was not a civil area. Nobody lived here. It was the ceremonial center of Chichén Itza. Religion, ceremonies, rituals, and all the people that live around this place, not here. Temple of Kukulkan, Mayan ball field game, and behind this, Temple of the Warriors. The most three important buildings in Chichén Itza, the most iconic buildings. Okay. But there are more. Okay. But actually, it's not allowed to visit the whole place. Only like 15-20% of the site has been restored, and the rest, 80-85% of the city, is still covered by the jungle, by the forest. Okay, so there are more buildings. Hola, you can. Okay, if you like history, stay with us. This is the Spanish group. Okay, sorry, English. English. And later you will have a free time. Okay, I mean, if you want, exactly. Okay, so guys. Kukulkan, Chichén Itza, two different things. Chichén Itza, name of the city, and Kukulkan, the name of the biggest town. Well, now, this building used to be painted and decorated. It was not black and white like now. Archaeologists later on, they made some recreations about how it looks like this building back in the past. It was something like this, okay? The Mayans, they used natural pigments, seeds, flowers, vegetation, plants, to paint their temples, and also some minerals too, okay, to paint the buildings. But when the city was abandoned, when these people left, the overtime eroded the natural pigments. Chichén Itza, it was abandoned around the year 1250 to 1300 after Christ, approximately. Why? According to the scholars, the main factor, drought seasons. A lot of drought seasons this area, so no rain, no water, no food. Overpopulation, they were ending with their natural resources and begin a war. Okay? The Mayans, they were not a kingdom. The Mayans, they were different tribes, different cities and states, So the enemies of the Mayans were not the Aztecs, were not the Incas, were not the Toltecs, were not another civilization, another people. We're their neighbors, another tribes. So these people, they lost at an important war according to the Mayan chronics, and that's why they left this place. They returned to Guatemala, where they came from originally. So according to the archaeologists, Guatemala, that was the beginning of the Mayan culture, not here. And then Guatemala, Honduras also, Belize, part of El Salvador, and the southeast of Mexico. This is the Mayan land, okay? Well, when Chichén Itza was rediscovered, 1842, when the first explorers came here, when they saw this for the first time, they made this drawing, this lithography. This is the Temple of Kukulkan when it was rediscovered, 1842, okay? And then archaeologists,
it was looking like that.
Sorry?
Looking like that.
Yes, 1842, when it was rediscovered the place. Later on, the Carnegie Institution from Washington, they sent some people, archaeologists, to work with the Mexican archaeologists together to rebuild this temple, okay? They took the first photo, the first picture, the year 1923, 1924 approximately, okay? They used the same blocks of rocks that they were fitting around the temple to rebuild this. So what I mean, amigos, the rocks of blocks that they used to rebuild these temples, it's original, are the original rocks, okay? But they couldn't restore everything because they didn't find the original rocks of blocks to rebuild this. Because the Spanish, they took a lot of those blocks of rocks to to build Catholic churches, nunneries, convents, Spanish houses, you know, and that's why they keep like this to keep authentic. It's been restored like 50-60%. By the way, this is not the front. This is just the side, the west side. East, south, north. The north, that's the front. Okay? It's some better conditions than this. Now, inside of this temple, archaeologists, they found another building. Inside of this, there is an inner temple, lower and smaller than this. Okay? And it's something like this. Take a look. Something like this. Okay? Well, obviously we cannot see it because this one is covering the first one, right? Archaeologists, they made some excavations to figure out what is inside. Because on the top, my friends, of the building, there is not a way to get to the bottom. It's closed. I mean, just 4 empty chambers that they used to worship their gods, and that's it. Okay? That's why they have to break the wall to figure out what is inside. And they discovered another one inside. Between this and this, to fill it out, is just a bunch of regular rocks, limestone. And then they just stick the blocks of rocks that they made, the carved stones. In this case, the Mayans, they use kind of like a mortar, like a glue, to stick the rocks. We got the natural chewing gum tree, and also we got the natural rubber tree. So they use the sap that received from those trees to mix with water, earth, dust, and that mix is gonna be something like a cement, like a mortar, to stick the blocks of rocks. And then they paint the buildings, okay? Inside of this, there they found this figure, the Mayans, they call El Chacmol, the messenger god, kind of like an altar. They choose to put their offerings right here in his hands, and this is gonna be the one in charge to send the offerings to the gods, okay? Spiritually, or the essence of this, right? And also they found this jaguar. I mean, it's like a seat, okay? Like a throne of jaguar. This animal for Mayans, it's symbol of power, protection, and also it was related with the underworld. The Mayans believe that a jaguar, it was the god of the underworld. The name is Xibalba, okay? So that's why it was like a seat, like a throne, for the highest authority of Chichén Itza, for the ruler of this place, okay? By the way, guys, the rulers, the high society, they used jade to make some earrings, bracelets, necklace, pendants, made out of jade, even incrustation on your teeth. So this is how it looks like the upper class people back in the days, okay? And these headdresses, they use the feathers from a special bird to make this. The quetzal, my friends, or quetzal, this bird endemic from Central America, highlands of Guatemala, Costa Rica, Panama, and Mexico, is the holy bird of the Mayan culture. They use the feather of this to make the headdress like a big coron or something like that. It's considered like something divine for Mayans because it's the representation of Kukulkan for them. The feather of snake god, take a look at the feather of this bird, looks like a snake when it's flying, makes something like this. So for Mayans, it was special, and that's why they make something that sounds very similar as a quetzal. That sound is not an echo, right? When you clap in front of the stars on the top, it sounds like a bird. If you clap anywhere here, it's gonna be echo. In front of these stars, it's an acoustic effect. And that's so fascinating because nowadays the experts in acoustics, they call this reverberation. What happened when you clap in front of the stars? The steps and the stairways works like a bridge or something like that to guide the sound all the way up through the doorway, and then the sound bounces between the empty chambers, and at the end the vibration or the sound of this sounds like a bird. But it's so interesting how they make that, okay? Because this is what the years old. So this is one of the main reasons, my friends, why this temple is considered a wonder. And the second one, because all the tourists, all the people, they can keep seeing the body of the snake coming down from that building. Have you heard about the equinoxes? Equinox, spring, autumn, when the sun is on the equator of the earth, right? Because when the northern hemisphere is close to the sun, we got summer, the longest day of the year, right? And then the earth moves. And when the southern hemisphere is close to the sun, we got winter, okay? And the shortest days of the year. But when the sun is in the middle, on the equator, that's equal. Day and night is 12 hours and 12 hours, right? Well, those dates, March 21st and September 21st, the spring and autumn seasons, when the sun comes down around 4 p.m., the sun's lights were going to illuminate through the northwest corner of that building something like a snake. The triangle, the lights and shadows, they were going to take the form like the body of the snake coming down, descending from that building. Okay, and it's so interesting because to the north, to the front of this building, there is something different than here. To the north side, there you will see downstairs on the bottom a big snake head. So the lights and shadows are coming down. And the last one is going to end on the snake. Okay? And this happens, my friends, only twice a year, March and September. It's on a special days. Okay? Planting time for us, for the farmers, for Mayans, and 6 months later, harvest time. Summer, rainy seasons, December, winter, drought. This is the year. This is the civil year. 365 days to start again. Right? So the Mayans realized that the sun moved during the day from east to west, and during the year from north to south. Okay? And returns. Right? 365 days to start again. Maybe that's why they added 91 steps each side. 91, 91, 91, 91, times 4, 364. Plus the last one on the top to get into the temple, 365 steps, as it is in a year. So my friends, it's a big calendar, more than a simple temple. I mean, the design of this building, it's different than the arrays around Mesoamerica. Okay? So this, mathematics, astronomy, and architecture, they mix these three science knowledge to make this masterpiece. Okay? And that's why, my friends, I know it's not too big, it's not too high. Honestly, if you go to Guatemala, to Mexico City, there are more buildings, pyramids, that they are higher, the double than this. But not with the same symbolism, not with the same knowledge. Okay? Now, let's get a little bit closer. We're gonna clap, we're gonna hear that effect. I want to prove this for you. And then we're gonna move to the north to see that spot where you have to be to see that body of this thing. Okay?
Remember,
Today is one
umbrella?
night. Okay? All this happened in March and September. But maybe if you want to see it today, you can sacrifice someone today.